Hey, so today I'll be speaking on catalyze positive change in your life right now. And I'll be pulling from my book, Adapt and Advance, page 35 to speak to us today. And on page 35, there's an item number 7 from Brené Brown's book on catalyst for positive change. That the book makes very clear to us, and this is the book, I encourage you to read it, The Gift of Imperfection by Brené Brown. One of the things in the book is how you can use your story, you can transform it around to be a blessing to other people that are around you, to touch lives, to use your story that is negative, to use it to stimulate positive change, both in your own life and in the life of people that are around you. And I will start with a story of Steve Harvey, which a good number of us might have heard his name before. Um, Story has it that he lived in his car for 3 years, to tell you how difficult things were at a point when he was trying to, build a comedy dream for himself. He lived in his car for 3 years. Let that sink. That's technically homelessness, in quotes, for 3 full years. But he never gave up. He never gave up. He kept at it. He kept putting in his best, working on it. And eventually, today, is an household name in inspiring millions, which is laughter, faith, and perseverance. Here are the 3 words: laughter, faith, and perseverance. The only way he could talk about laughter, faith, and perseverance today is because he was able to persevere through that 3 years when he was living in his car. The way he could talk about faith to millions of people today, Steve Harvey lived through that 3 years, holding on in faith that things were going to work well for him. And today, of course, his dream of having a foot in the comedy industry eventually came to pass. So Steve Harvey's story reminds us that no matter how dark it is right now, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So don't let the darkness, if there's any darkness now, but almost always there will be one form of challenge or the other, whatever name you want to call it. Some call it problems, some call it challenges, some call it darkness. And it's different for everybody because our purposes are different, our backgrounds are different, where we all start from is different, and all of this influence the kind of things we all go through. And our purpose, most importantly, is different. And I strongly believe that our purpose chooses the kind of challenges that we go through in life. For me, losing both parents very early, mom at 7, dad at when I was 13, automatically puts the trajectory of my life in a particular way, which includes what I'm doing right now as a psychiatrist, as maybe inspirational speaker, whatever you want to call me, and as an author. All of that ties into what I've been called to do. And there's a Bible verse I would like to share with us from Job 14, verse 7. He said, if a tree be cut down, it will sprout again. So I want you to know that no matter what it is you are going through, if a tree be cut down, it will sprout again. There's hope that you will sprout again. There's hope that things will get better for you. So hold on in hope. So the content today is, how do we use the story to be a blessing to others? And I'm going to give us 3 ways: advocate, educate, uplift others. Whatever it is we've gone through, but use the story first for yourself. You can only give what you have. You've got to advocate, you've got to educate, and you've got to uplift. So from the story, how can you use your story to advocate? It helps you, gives you the opportunity when you see other people going through similar situation. It helps you to advocate for them. If I see somebody who has lost both parents, for example, behaving in certain ways, it's easy for me to advocate and understand where that behavior is coming from. The same way, whatever challenges you've been through, you can advocate for other people by using your story, your understanding of the situation to advocate for people. Then you advocate for yourself also. How do you use your story to advocate for yourself? This will involve learning and to involve developing skills. No matter what you've been through, you can also advocate for yourself and get the best. One of the things personally, because of the hardships I've been through in life, one of the things I advocate for myself is to make sure that I get the best of life at every stage and at every season. Even if it means working extra hard, even if it means putting in my best, even if it means dreaming big and, reaching out for those things I want to be. So I can advocate for myself and at the same time I can advocate for other people. Number two is educate. How do you educate yourself? Of course, for me, because of the challenges I went through growing up, one of the things I do to educate is I educate myself by learning how people who have been through similar situations go through it, what they did. Of course, you can't use everything other people do because everybody is different and unique, but I can learn. Every book I read, I learn something. That's why I encourage us to read one book at least every month. I do one every week. You can encourage people you can learn what others have done and you can use that information to educate yourself. But apart from educating yourself, you can also educate other people too on why this is, what is going on, and how you can get over it. You can educate friends, you can educate family, and your education is sweeter if you've been able to turn the testimony around, the challenge around to a testimony. Just like I talked about Steve Harvey at the beginning of the video. Today, you can educate people, you can talk about his story. People will listen to him because they believe he's been through things in the past. And the final one, content today, is you uplift others with whatever you have been through. It's not just enough for you to go through it. You can be a blessing to other people, uplift others. Every opportunity I have to talk about my challenges, I talk about them. Talked about, failing USMLE exam, step one at a point in my life. So when I see people who fail, I tell them, look, this is not the end of life. I always people who struggle to prepare for the exam. I tell them, look, it was a very big struggle. To even decide to take it was a very big struggle for me because it needed a lot of effort at that point in my life when I wasn't just a fresh graduate out of school. So I understand what people go through. And I'm able to uplift and let them know this too will pass. And if you are really called to do it, it's doable. And it's, of course, difficult, but it's doable. So whatever God has called you to do would not be easy. That's the truth. Nothing of worth is ever easy. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take you showing up, every day. And a wise man said, most of success is showing up every single day. So you got to show up every day, wake up, go to work, put in your best every single day of your life. So I want you to understand that that's very important and that is very crucial and that is very critical. Wake up, show up, and put in your best whenever you show up. So it's going to be brutal at times. It's going to require effort. It's going to require energy. But you just get to keep going. Two call to actions every day, one for you as a person and one for us as a family. As a person, the big call to action today is look at whatever you are going through and have a plan today to be a blessing to others using it. I would say advocate both for yourself strongly and advocate for other people very strongly. What am I going through and how can I use it to be a blessing to people? So it's a small planning. How can I use it to advocate for others? How can I use it to educate others? How can I use it to uplift others? Those three things. So think through it and take one small step today. Even just sending a text message to somebody you know is going through. There's somebody in my mind right now that I'm making this video that I'm going to send a text to, or even maybe a call, who is going through a very hard time right now. If a friend who just lost his wife, I'm going to share and reach out to him. So whoever is on your mind that has been laid upon your mind today to be a blessing to, just take that step and do it. My second call to action is my book. The ebook launch is on July 1st. This video will likely be released after that day. So whatever day you're watching this video, most likely in the month of July, please, if you've not picked a copy, the ebook is $0.99 and we are doing that promotion for an entire month. that's the big launch for this book. Is $1 for a whole month, and I believe you can afford $1 to get a copy of the ebook. So go get a copy of it, and not just for yourself. And one of the reasons we made it ridiculously low is so that you can get it for yourself easily and also get it for others. So I've been asking all my launch team members to gather at least 10 names of people they know and their emails that will benefit from the story in this book. It's a story of resilience. So you can also get a copy for yourself, gather 10 emails in your contacts and buy it for them on Amazon. There's a way you can buy 10 extra copies. Just say buy for others. There's a button click on Amazon, buy for others, and you can buy extra copies for other people, and you can send them the link and they could just open it. They just read it on their phone. It's very easy. There's no shipping costs, no anything associated with ebook. And so you can just make sure you're giving to somebody with your Amazon marketplace. So my plan summary, like I always do at the end of the day, I think M, which is meaning making, for today is the quotes by a wise man who said, most of success, I think 90% of success or thereabouts, is showing up. So you just got to keep showing up and keep showing up and keep showing up and learn from other people. And then we can also, action is, today we talked about action you are going to take, and the call to action is reach out to somebody you can be a blessing to with your story, somebody who is going through challenges. So that's one action you can take. And we talked about 3 things today, which is advocate for yourself and others, educate yourself and others, and then uplift others. So those are the 3 big things we talked about today for action. P is planning. I said make a plan of how you continuously do this all the time. It's not every week or every month. For me, I make videos, I write books, whatever you can do. It doesn't have to be big. I send text messages. I have my Fuse boys, my older Fuse boys, I send them text messages regularly. I have a younger Fuse group, which is just Fuse means high school students where I volunteer and I have students who I coach. I send text to them regularly just to encourage them regularly. So you can, whatever it is, it could be text, it could be a phone call, it could be, visiting somebody that you've not been to. Have a plan of how you do all of those things. L, which is learning. I talked about Brené Brown's book today, which is The Gift of Imperfection. It's a great book. I enjoyed reading it. You can read it. I talked about it in chapter 3. And also my own book, Adapt and Advance too. I encourage you to get it and read it. Then that's my plan. A is Alliance for Mission. You can do life alone. I'm sure Stephen Harvey, that we talked about his story, you didn't do life alone. So you might need to also understand that you cannot do life alone. M is mission statement, and I almost always talk about my own mission statement just so you can write your own. My own is to fulfill God's purpose and be the best version of myself. That's the first segment. To fulfill God's purpose and be the best version, the best I can be. And with me, I'm not comparing myself with anybody. I'm comparing myself with the best version that I can be. And of course, to fulfill God's purpose. That's section A of my mission statement. Section B is by moving from one level of success and value to a greater level of success and value pattern, which means I do not have a better yesterday. You can have something like that. So to fulfill God's purpose and be the best version of myself from one level of good success and good value to a greater level of good success and good value pattern. Which means that every time I'm moving forward. I have a plan to go forward. And the third section, which is the C part, is and to be a blessing to everyone that God has placed on my path, my patients, my family members, my colleagues, people that I speak to, people who read my book, people who watch my videos, everybody around me, to be a blessing to people around. So that's my own mission statement. So have your own, draft your mission statement and have it. And finally, prayers. I talked to us about Job chapter 14, verse 7 somewhere today, that if a tree be cut down, it will rise up again. So pray with that verse that no matter how much you've been cut down, you can rise up again. So that's it for today. Remember to hit the like button, share with friends. Typically I will restream this video about 15 minutes. I will restream for 12 hours first, so that anybody anywhere in the world can hop on and hop off at any time. You can just join for 15 minutes and leave. And then after 24 hours, it will be posted as a single video for 15 minutes. So if you miss the live stream, which we repeat for up to 12 hours, then you could watch it the next day. So that's what we do typically usually on Fridays and Sundays, but at times it doesn't fit into Friday and Sunday. It might be Saturday or maybe during the week, whatever it is. So because there are usually 2 videos every week that are 15 minute length. So I encourage you to be a part of this. Thank you so much. Bye.